We're back with another Dominion Menagerie preview, and it's another event. This time it's Gamble. Gamble costs 2. It says +1 buy. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's treasure or action, you may play it. Otherwise, discard it. Um, yeah, so I believe that the otherwise uh, only triggers if you if it's not a treasure or action. I'm gonna have to look up the rules exactly here. I think that it only triggers if it's not a treasure or action, but it might be that I've got morning brain here, and it actually triggers as long as you don't play it, which might make a difference for, say, Village Green that we saw a couple days ago. Um, But either way, this is something that can say activate your tunnels. Um, Great. Activating tunnels is not really what you want. Although I am going way off on a tangent before I get to the main part of this card. That's cool. If you have enough money and some extra buys, like not that many extra buys actually even, but if you have a ton of money, you could say on a tunnel board, you've drawn your deck, you buy a tunnel, then you buy this. You're gonna hit the tunnel because you just bought it. It's the only thing in your discard pile after you drew your deck. So you discard the tunnel, you gain a gold. You play this again, or you buy this again, and now you've got a tunnel and a gold. You get the gold, you get 3 money, so that nets you a plus of money. You hit the tunnel, and that discards the tunnel, you can get another gold. Um, I'm trying to think if you can just like pile drive golds with this thing. That is what I'm trying to think here. So let's see, you've got like one extra buy, you've drawn your deck. You have some amount of money, right? Once you have a tunnel and 2 golds in your discard pile, they make 6 and you get 6 back. They make 6, it costs 6 to play them all. You get 6 back. Then you've got 3 golds. You spend, yeah, you can just pile drive golds with this. Uh, I think. Oh no 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 no. Because you are going to bleed a little money every time. Because when you play the gold, you don't get to play it again. So you're only playing it once. So okay. Um, this still might be a bit of a combo. If you have extra money, you can gain a lot of golds. More or less as many golds as you want. Not quite. I mean, it takes a little bit of money sometimes, but you can get a lot of extra golds with this, with tunnel, right? You discard the tunnel, you get a gold. Then it costs 4 uh, to discard 2 more cards, which is the gold in the tunnel. You get 3 back. So, like, effectively, it's 1 money for a gold every time. So you can gain a lot of golds for the extra money you have. I don't know exactly when you'd want to do that, but you could do that in a lot of cases. Um, if getting a ton of golds is good for you, then that's great. I think often you're going to want to stop at some number that's not like, 20 golds or 10 golds even, but it might be a fairly efficient way to gain 3, 4, 5 golds. Um, and that could be a pretty efficient thing in terms of getting extra payload for your deck if you've got a lot of extra draw. So that actually does seem like a legit combo to me. But I've been blathering along about this combo, and I haven't talked about the main use of the card. It's not a card, it's an event. But the main use of the thing yet, which is, okay, there's going to be, I think, actually 2 main uses. One is, uh, well, to note that it's not very good if you're hitting draw cards, usually. I mean, obviously, there's always the Villa um, exceptions, although with the Villa exceptions, I don't know that this is that big of a game changer because, uh, well. If you had the extra draw anyway, I don't know. Um, but for the most part, you don't want to draw cards because if you've already bought a card, then drawing cards, you can't play them anymore. You can't play treasures, you can't play whatever. You can play them with gamble, but you can't play them once they're in your hand, right? So drawing cards is not something you want to be doing with your gamble, but making payload is fine to good. When this says it gives you +1 buy, it doesn't increase the number of buys. Again, just like all these other events that give you +1 buy. Basically, it gives you your buy back, right? It takes a buy to buy the event, and this event gives you your buy back. So it doesn't effectively cost you a buy. Um, so if you are wanting to trigger a shuffle, this can trigger a shuffle. Uh, so this at least can be a card where I've bought 3 or 4 cards and I want to seed my next shuffle with most of those cards in my next opening hand. I can buy this once and do that, right? So that's one thing. In that case, I'm probably not playing the treasure action that I hit with this thing. Um, if you just somehow want to spend a couple of money to clear the top card or two off your deck, say you know they're bad or you're trying to get closer to a shuffle, you can do this like a very poor man's, or I guess in this case a rich man's because it's more expensive, a more expensive bad version of like a scouting party type effect. This can be there for you to help you get through some cards if you know that they're like bad, say. That's another thing that it can do. And then the main purpose of the card is I've drawn my deck and I'm going to buy some payload, and this effectively makes the payload a little bit cheaper. So if the payload is making more than 2 money for you, mostly that is, um, then this can play that payload and then you recoup some money. So you're going to need extra buys for that because you've got to buy the other card first and then buy this event. So if you only have one buy, you can't do both those things because you could buy this first, but there won't be in the discard pile or your deck, right? So, but if you buy something that makes 3 money, then you buy this that costs 2 money, and then you make your 3 money. You've netted 1 money, so that's a way to make a little bit of money. So it increases your money a little bit, and or um, well, it doesn't really increase your money probably because the thing that made you 3 money probably cost more um, than you're making off of this, right? If it makes 3, it costs more than 0. You're actually losing money overall. But if you wanted that card that made 3 money anyway, then this makes it a little bit effectively makes it a little bit cheaper, right? Let's say I wanted to buy a gold and something else. I buy the gold, that costs 6. Then I buy this, that costs 2. Then I make 3 back. So I'm at 5 money less than what I started with, as opposed to if I just bought the gold, I'd be at 6 money less. So it makes the gold a little bit cheaper, right? Probably it's not usually going to be a gold, but maybe it's going to be, say, a livery from this expansion. It could be a gold. Um, right, and the tunnel idea comes in there a little bit. Um, I think the one way that it's likely to actually make you money in many cases is poorhouse. So if you buy a poorhouse that costs 1, and then you buy this that costs 2 more, and then you play the poorhouse, and you've probably already played all your treasures, so you're not going to have any in hand. So it's going to make 4 for you, minus the 3 cost of the poorhouse, and this means that you've effectively traded a buy for a money. And you also had to gain a poorhouse to do that, but that's a way to make a little bit of extra money. So that's a combo to look out for. Not really a combo, but a synergy to look out for. Um, Apart from that, if cards are making just a money, then you can just a couple money. Let's say you're getting like a swindler, uh, then you can buy this, and the swindler, you buy this afterwards, and this is effectively free, and you just get the attack for free because it costs 2, but you get the 2 back from the swindler. Note that for cards that give you your money in coffers, this doesn't really work in terms of a same turn benefit, because let's say I play a butcher with this thing, I get my 2 coffers, that's great, but I've already bought something, so I can't spend coffers anymore. So that's worth noting. Um, anyway, yeah, I don't think this is going to be overall a super, super strong card, but it's going to be pretty useful uh, for seeding your next shuffle, seeding your next turn's draw, and a little bit for playing stuff to make stuff a little bit cheaper now once I've drawn my deck. I guess I should also note that if you're getting a card that gives plus buy, then this can make it kind of buy neutral. So like if you're wanting to buy a lot of cards and buying say a bridge, then that's potentially very, very powerful to buy the bridge, then buy this, or I think Inventor is going to work similarly. Buy the bridge, buy this. So the bridge is giving you 1 money back. You've taken 6 money and 2 buys. You get 1 buy back from this. You get a buy back from the bridge. So you're buy neutral from when before you bought the bridge, and you're down 5 money. But if you're buying a bunch of extra cards after that, you could end up in money, right? Um, Inventor can work kind of similarly. You do need a lot of money to be able to keep buying this potentially. So if you want to buy a lot of bridges, you're going to need a bunch of money to start with. But let's say I've drawn my deck and I have a lot of money, but not much in terms of extra buys. Maybe my terminal space was limited, so I could only play 1 bridge for extra buys, right? So I've made 15 money and I've played 1 bridge as part of that 15 money, say. I have 2 buys, so I buy another bridge. And in that case, I can then buy another bridge, buy this, buy another bridge, buy this, buy another bridge, buy this, buy another bridge, buy this. And eventually I'm going to run out of money because I have to keep buying this, and this doesn't get cost reduced. But I am going to have a ton of bridges in play. I guess if I only have 1 extra buy, it's not so good because at the end everything is free, but I kind of still only have 1 buy afterwards or a couple buys afterwards. But if I had some like markets or market squares to get me extra buys, then this is a way with very limited terminal space. If you're drawing well enough and have enough money and buys, you can turn that into a bridge mega turn, and that's still probably going to be cheaper than saying trying to buy all the provinces, right? Naturally, like you need a lot of money in buys, but you don't need as much money in buys as say you would to just buy all the provinces. So that kind of chaining effect might be big with this, but I don't think that's probably going to come up that much, but it is something to watch out for. Anyway, this has been a really, really long time to talk about one card. The tunnel thing still fascinates me, and I'm sorry I spent so much. I'm not sorry. You know what? I am not sorry I spent so much time on that. Anyway, long video for today. We'll see you tomorrow with probably a much shorter one. But thanks for watching this one. We'll catch you again later.